Welcome to another Roblox Studio tutorial. In today's video, I'm going to teach you all about text buttons. The difference between a text label and a text button is that the button is clickable and you can interact with it and do all sorts of things, while the text label is something that is static, non-clickable, and only is used to display text, meaning information. So, what we want to do is go to Starter GUI inside the Explorer, open up our screen GUI, and click the plus button. We want to add a text button. Here is my own text button, and the first option we're going to learn about is the auto button color. When you select it and you hover over a button, what is going to happen is that your button will change its color automatically. But if you deselect this, your button will not be changing color automatically. So keep this open, keep this on if you want this change of color, which is very useful. Now, a lot of these settings and these properties are pretty similar to the ones that you see with text labels. What you want to do is you want to scroll down to the text because I'm going to show you some things that I didn't show you in the previous tutorial. We're going to learn more stuff today. But if you want to learn the basics of text labels that are also useful for text buttons, you should go ahead and watch the previous tutorial. So as we can see over here, we got some options that are game changer. First of all, we got this text scaled option that what it does is that it makes the text automatically scalable as you make the button bigger or smaller, as we can see. If we remove this, we will have to change the text size through the text size option. Another amazing option is the text wrapped option, that when you have selected, your text will wrap inside the box. It will never go out of the box. And this is not, in any case, by default done. It's through this text wrapped option that when your button becomes smaller and the text doesn't fit the width, it will go down to the new lines inside the button. So if your button is very tall, you're going to see the text under. And this is also very, very useful. There is also the option to deselect this. And if you do that, your text will be in a single line, but it's going to be outside the boundaries of the button in some cases, if you are not careful. What you could do to avoid this is click text truncate at the end, and it will add 3 dots to denote, to show to the person that there is more to be seen on this text, but for some reason it's hidden, it cannot be shown. But I would never suggest that you do this. Just go with text wrapped and text scaled, and your button text will be super, super amazing. You don't have to complicate it more than that. Finally, you can align the text on the x-axis, meaning left and right, and the y-axis, which is top and bottom. So this is essentially the centering inside this box. You want your text to begin from the left, you go to text alignment and select left. You want it to be on the right, you go with right. I would always go with center, and I would do the exact same thing with the text Y alignment. If you make something like a document or a book inside your game that is for some reason clickable, then you could do the Y alignment from top, and you could do the X alignment from the left, or if you're an Arab, from the right. But this is a very niche case, you won't need it. And these are the basic properties of text buttons. Now, what I want you to do is create inside the screen GUI a local script. And on the local script, I want you to follow me along. I'm going to explain you what the script that I've already written does. And I'm also going to show you that you can create buttons through scripting. So first of all, what we do in this local script is we want to access the parent. And this is essentially the screen GUI component as we see on the Explorer. We access it and we save its reference to the GUI local variable. Then we go and access the text button, which is a child of the screen GUI. Okay, so here we access the text button. There are 4 events we're gonna cover today. The first one is the mouse center event. We connect to the event, and when our mouse enters the button now, we're going to print the message entered. Also, we have the mouse leave event. So when our mouse gets out of the button, we connect an event and we do the print exit. So this function will run print exit when our mouse leaves the button. And we also have the left click, which is mouse button one click, and the right click, which is mouse button two click. Okay, so this is how you handle left and right click with buttons. And right now we just do some prints. It's for demonstration purposes. So let's go ahead and test it out. Here is our game. Here is our button. We have also another button here, but you should not care. So I enter the button, we see entered. I exit the button, we see exit. Left click, right click, see here, it shows it. It shows also exit. So this is how you handle left click, right click when the mouse, when your mouse gets in the button, gets out of the button, and all of these things. Super useful stuff, super amazing. I'm not showing anything really practical here for how you could use them. This comes through the advanced scripting tutorials that I'm going to do in the future, but you can already start experimenting with some amazing stuff just by knowing this. Now, a lot of people will ask, what is this +1 add coin button and why is it working? Where is it? It's not in the starter GUI. I don't see it anywhere here. However, if I go to the players and start their GUI, I actually see this add coins GUI. Wait, how did you make it? What magic did I do? So I was experimenting with AI, and what it did is it went into the starter player script and it created an add coins button. This was done through a local script. So it goes ahead, gets the player's GUIs, as we can see here, and it creates a new screen GUI inside the player GUI. So programmatically, you can create screen GUIs, you can create text buttons, you can set any property you need, but you can do it through scripting instead of actually clicking buttons in the Explorer and experimenting. Now, this is very useful. This is very useful if you're a professional programmer and you already know exactly what to make, where to position it, what color it has. You can test it out fast, but I wouldn't suggest it for pretty much anyone else because it really increases the amount of code you write. It makes testing a lot harder. You have to play the game to test it out. So I would go with a simple option that I'm going to be showing you in these tutorials, which is essentially creating them through the starter GUI, the screen GUI, and just adding elements here, perfecting them, adding local scripts to handle events, and moving forwards. Really, for Roblox, you don't need this kind of scripting for this kind of buttons, at least in my opinion. But I wanted to show you that there is also this way to create stuff. I wouldn't suggest it. With AI, maybe this is the future, to be completely honest with you. Probably AI will be writing this kind of buttons. It's totally fine if you use AI, but if you make your game on your own, starter GUI, is the best option, easiest option, fastest option. Go ahead in the Roblox book that I have down below in the description and check out the practice and objectives for today's video. I've created a section about text buttons. Go in there, start playing around, start following what I tell you to create amazing, useful text buttons. I will see you in the next video.